Hey everyone, Eggman here with another video, and today we're going to look at some leaders you should re-investigate with the release of the Z mechanics, meaning Z energy, Z battle cards, Z leaders, and just the whole Zenkai stuff. I think some of them were kind of obvious. I think a lot of you have been talking about some of them. The other ones, maybe not so obvious. We're also going to talk about some kind of ruling spaces we currently know for them as well. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments too, and I can do my best to answer them. Obviously, we only know so much right now, and probably some of the rulings might change by the time this stuff gets released in a month and a half. So be flexible on that. But I think the core mechanic is like already pretty set in stone and thought out. So if a leader has a Z leader, you should probably relook at that leader in the first place. None of these, I think, are confirmed to get one right now anyways. So you should probably definitely relook at Red Vegito, because you know that's getting some Z stuff, which is really exciting. And but we're just going to go over these, and these are in no specific order either. We're just going to start off with the first one based on my file system's name. It is the yellow Bojack. And I've always liked the Bojack kind of archetype. Blue Bojack kind of had like some spotlight until like people realized how busted Galactic Buster was. So now it's restricted to only Bojack Brigade leaders, which this can use Galactic Buster, which is quite nice. And then, so not only can you use Galactic Buster to combo something from your energy, and then that will be able to go into your Z energy afterwards too, which is nice. But this Bojack has this ability that you can combo with Bojack Brigade cards in your battle area in rest mode too. So there's a lot of reasons that this can be kind of strong, and being able to just ramp up your Z energy very quickly be really nice. So I think a lot of these are obviously going to depend on what Z battle cards we're going to get in the first wave or so. If there's something that's really good for yellow that yellow can really take advantage of, I think Bojack is something that can take advantage of too. And we're just gonna, I don't know, I think he's fine. And also, like, you're persuaded to also combo because you have this effect of when you combo with one of your cards during your turn. If your combo area has 2 or more Bojack Brigades, you comboed with from your battle area, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, and rest mode and KO it. And if you KO a card, negate the skill for duration of the turn. So pretty much this means is that you can get some. You can combo with 2, get the pop, and then you get the 1 Z energy from there and help build your Z. So I think he's worth looking at a try. I've always liked Bojack, and since he does have like the yellow-blue stuff, if you haven't done that like a year ago, this could be the time for you to look at it now. Next up, we do have the red Beerus from, I believe, BT8? I think it's BT8. Either an 8 or a 6, I can't tell. You might be able to tell. But it is, this is one of my favorite leaders when it first came out, just because of its passive way to draw on the front. And then active main once returned for 1 red, 1 yellow. You can choose one of your opponent's battle cards and just KO it outright, which is nice. And also activate battle once returned. Choose 1 red or yellow multicolor card in your drop area. You can combo with it. So obviously a kind of precursor to Aandroidd 16, where you don't get any card draw on the side, but you get to get this passive combo every turn. Normally it's a 10k combo because it's multicolor, which also means that it sets up your arrival plays, which is nice. But also, if you just need to just like build 1 Z energy every turn, this can totally do it. So I think a lot of people are going to talk about Aandroidd 16, including us, later in this video. So no spoilers there. But I think this Beerus is super fun. There's a lot of support that is also printed for him too. So if we do have something that's like a really good like red or yellow generic Z leader card, I think that's good. And something that's also something to think about too is that when you're playing battle cards from your Z deck instead of your hand, that's pretty much like drawing 1 card, right? Because you don't have to give up any resource from your hand or your deck or your drop area to play with these Z battle cards, except for the Z energy, which you kind of already built the momentum for too. So for a deck like that doesn't get a lot of cycle and doesn't get a lot of like just a lot of value but not a lot of cycle, something like this, being able to get a lot of Z energy very quickly and then being able to use that to get a very powerful Z battle card, I think is kind of interesting and worth giving a look at. So I like the Beerus. I've always liked it as a deck that kind of generates kind of a mid-range control strategy, and I think it's really worth looking at again as well. All right, a lot of people are talking about launch. We're going to talk about launch. It's going to be very quick, but it just has this auto once returned. When you combo, you get to draw 1 card. Boom. Easy. So you just always want to combo anyways. So when you combo, you don't even lose the hand advantage. You're going to be generating the Z energy anyways. And you get to flip this over. When you get to flip it over, you get to draw a card and then go from there. It does mean you are punished for doing like the double kind of awaken kind of thing, because then on the other side, when you combo draw 1 card, then when a card is flipped in face up by one of your skills, you can flip this card back over, draw 1. etc. So, but obviously both sides being able to do this effect where you can generate a lot of, just combo power, and then you can kind of go from there. Even just looking at like the Z battle card from the Pan deck, the red one, I think this deck wants to run it. There's a lot of reasons too, especially since it can just passively do damage to your opponent and you don't even have to like swing at them, which is nice, and then push some extra pressure just for yourself. So I think a lot of people are going to be trying launch. One thing too, at least based on my initial findings, is that if you have the launch cards that combo from your drop area and they go into the warp afterwards, you're not able to put those into your Z energy. And I think that makes sense too, because then otherwise you'd just be able to infinitely re-combo them. And my understanding right now, you can clip this and you can tell me I'm wrong later, and that's totally fine, is that my understanding is that any card that can go in your Z battle area, like if a card was to go to your drop area from your combo area, you can put that card in your Z energy instead. If it's supposed to go to any other zone besides your own drop area, you can't add it to your Z energy. That's my current understanding. That can be wrong, but that's my current ruling. If that changes, I can let you guys know, and I'll probably already say it in a future video. So that's what we got there. People are already talking about launch. I don't have much to say besides try it as well. We'll see what happens. We also do have Shroom and Salsa. So this is a bit of an interesting ad, but I do have some theory for this one. It does have this auto once return. This card's in battle. When you use a black battle card in combo, your opponent chooses one battle card from the drop area to the warp. If there's no battle cards in your opponent's drop area, you get to draw one card, which means, one, a lot of people, when they want a combo, they're going to add the card to their Z energy anyways, which means there's going to be passively less battle cards in your drop area, especially during the early turn. So if you're able to combo, build your own Z energy, and then also get that extra draw because your opponent is probably not going to have a battle card in there if they're making their own Z energy earlier in the game, that's really good. Or you just get to remove it from the warp too, or warp it too. So I think this is something that we should relook at in a lot of ways. It does have some good traits, and it has like a lot of kind of generic support in the last year or so, basically with all the things with it. So that's just, I mean, I searched combo and this had the word combo in it. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is something. And especially since there are just battle cards, I think, that are going to be comboed from your drop area more often, especially with the leaders that we've seen, being able to remove those resources so they have to invest more into doing so, I think means that Shroom and Salsa might be a good kind of leader to maybe help disrupt that and prevent your opponent from getting more advantage for it. So I don't know if it's good. I know a lot of people think this deck is bad, and I think I've never found a good build for it, but it might be worth relooking at in the future, depending on that kind of stuff. Next up, we do have the Super Saiyan Cabba Proud Volley. This is a blue Universe 6 leader, which I think, was pretty strong. A lot of people thought it was going to be one of the best leaders for BT15. And it definitely wasn't, because it was fine, but I don't think really anyone used it. I think they just said, you know what, Soul Striker is better. And they were probably right. But it does have an auto once return if it's your opponent's turn. When you play about blue Universe 6 card, switch it to one of your blue energy active mode. So that's kind of nice. And then also, this card attacks, you get to draw one, but the activate battle once return Spirit Boost. Use it to one blue Universe 6 card from your drop area to combo with skills negated for the turn, which normally meant so you could combo something so you could use it to be able to get a blue-yellow. It doesn't say mono-blue, it just says a blue Universe 6 card. A blue-yellow card in your combo area, which means that you have the arrival for a Cabba or something and kind of go from there. But I think this is definitely worth the look at, especially since we have a good unison to work with this, which I think we're getting more and more. This is just a really good card to potentially give build your own Z energy while also comboing, so you can do some arrival stuff. You get the energy on tap and kind of everything. So I think this is worth looking into again. I think that Universe 6 does have a good amount of support. It's been printed out. We're getting more support with it too, and it's blue-yellow as well. And just the free combo, if you're playing a unison-based version as well, especially like if you're playing with the new Aandroidd 1718, that just generates so many tokens, or so many markers on itself, that the Spirit Boost 1 for this doesn't even need it for it. So your opponent's going to have a hard time removing it. You get this constant comboing, which you're also going to be comboing with just the effect of that unison 2. I think like these two working together does work very, very good. So I think it's worth trying. I think Universe 6 has a lot of support cards, and this could be something that you relook at and find some value for. Next up, we do have Great Priest. And this is just kind of talking about it because it does have some effects, but I do also want to mention, so it does have this permanent, you can't include non-god battle cards in your deck and negate the energy cost, or any exhaust skill of all god cards in all your areas. This, as far as I know, based on my discussions, is that this includes your Z deck. So even your Z energy, or all your Z battle cards, have to be gods as well. You can't just sneak in a non-god into your Z deck. This includes your Z deck as well. This could change, but this is based on my current rulings that I've gotten from judges and stuff. So you can't just put a good Z battle card in here, especially since this is like a rainbow archetype. Like, oh, I just get the best one and then I'm good to go. You still need to get a Z god card for this kind of effect. But there are some reasons to still consider Great Priest if there are any good Z battle cards. Specifically, it's a deck that just awakens very early, as well as it just does get some free combos. So Great Priest, Commander of Angels, negate the energy exhaust of all god cards in all your areas, and active battle once returned, switch this card to rest mode, draw one, then choose up to one multicolored god card in your hand and use it in your combo. A lot of these god cards already want to just be comboed, and or they want to be able to use their effect by being comboed. Some of them are played for free, which means you wouldn't be able to put them in your Z energy in the first place, but you're able to get these free combos and then get the effects for them and then use them in Z energy to play some Z god battle cards later in the game. I could see that being some action. So again, I just wanted to more include this guy just so you guys knew how the restriction extended to the Z deck, and just the fact that this could be something that could see some value if there are some good Z god cards. Moving on. So next up, we do have Aandroidd 16. I think this was another very obvious one. I think a lot of you are already on board for this guy. But permanent, get the energy exhaust skill of all your Aandroidd 16 cards in arrival blue-green in your areas, but also auto once returned active battle once returned if you use one blue-green multicolor Aandroidd card in your drop area in a combo. No restriction besides that. You usually have so much of these by the end, or by the time you're awakened anyways, that you can afford to lose some from your drop area to put in your Z energy. And if there's any of these good Z battle cards, which I'm pretty sure they're going to be making some guys for this leader, then like I don't know, like it just looks like it's a good guy for just making the Z energy, especially in a deck like that has a really hard time using like counter cards or like cards that are outside of its color, and you don't want to ruin like your top deck cycle with him. I think being able to use the Z energy or Z battle cards to get them out and kind of bypass like the effect of ruining your deck. Like if there's like a really good like generic like black kind of card like that, or even like most of your energy you want to be blue in the first place anyways, right? So you don't want to play any green battle cards, but you do have like blue green energy to help you play some green Z cards. I think that's something to consider as well. But you guys probably already know about this. You've probably been all the way on top of this guy for like some Z stuff, so I'm gonna just leave it there. Next up is Broly. I'm thinking some people probably on board for this guy. If not, I think he's good. He does have an auto once return on the front side when you combo with a red or green battle card. You get to draw one. I think we've already seen that we do see some Broly stuff in Z battle card land. So I think this is something just to consider, especially since like we're in a timeline right now where we have six multicolor leaders. One of them's banned. Two of them have been eroded, which are the Goku and the Piccolo. Cell's been banned. The red-blue one has had the archetype nerfed twice. And then we have this one, and then we have the Kefla one. So like the blue-yellow one, which blue-yellow one's just not good. But people have still been using this Broly, and it's been able to do some performance in the past. So I think it's something that if it's able to generate a lot of Z energy quickly in the early game, you can get a lot of benefits and kind of get a stronger late game, or even just like set up yourself a lot better than you've been able to before, which is kind of nice. So I think that's worth looking at retry. I really do like this Broly. Also, the backside does let you just combo with something as well from your drop area, and then which means you get to a free Z energy with the activate battle and get a double strike. So I think that's also kind of worth it too. But I don't know. We'll see if they're. I think they're supporting this guy based on the anniversary box pictures we saw, but we'll kind of see from there. But I think he's definitely worth a look as well. I don't know why Gohan was so big, but there he is. This is an older leader, but he does check out. He does have this permanent Universe 7 in your battle area can be comboed in rest mode. And the front side, both this and the front side have, when you combo with a Universe 7 from your battle area during your turn, you get to draw 2 cards. So being able to get that hand advantage from there, I think is kind of nice. As well as just, being able to combo with them in your rest mode is good. You want to combo with this deck anyways. So this is something I've considered pulling. And we haven't had any like Universe 7 cards in a minute, but we do have a lot of Universe 7 cards. And I think he's worth giving a shot. It's only during your turn, which kind of stinks. But again, I think being able to swing with your guys and then not be afraid of being able to combo them later in the game, nice. So not a lot for him, but just a card that I saw. I was like, oh, you can do some weird combo stuff. So kind of like Bojack. I think like he was kind of viable for like a minute too when he first released. So next up, we do also have the Hercule. This is kind of like the original launch. It's a red Earthling, also World Tournament, which does mean something. There are a lot of kind of good cards that are restricted to only World Tournament leaders and archetypes. But when this card attacks, you get to draw a card. But on the front and the back, it has active battle. During this card's battle, when there are cards in your combo area, you draw 1 and then negate the skill for the duration of the battle. So being able to get that passive Z energy build is very, very good. Just means you can just combo with something and then you're not afraid of like losing the hand advantage for it because you get to do the combo for it. So I like this. I really like this Hercule when it first came out. He was super relevant for like 2 months. He was like one of the best leaders in the game, and then Mill happened and then he went away. But I think he's worth a look again, especially since we're getting some new green World Martial Arts stuff. Like, have to look how restricted it is to a green World Martial Arts leader or whatever, but there are some reasons to use him. And honestly, World Martial Arts has some like really good like in archetype stuff too, which is interesting. So I'm going to probably check this guy out as well. And that is all 10 of our leaders for you guys. I know I probably just rambled a little bit for it, but I hope you guys saw a leader and you're like, oh, I want to try this again. I totally forgot about this, and I can totally see that from there. There's obviously other leaders, and if you guys want to comment some leaders I forgot that you guys have been already looking forward for some Z madness, please let me know in the comments too. Thank you guys again for watching. I really do appreciate it. Look forward to more Dragon Ball Super Zenkai videos, and I'll catch you all next time.